Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of Business of Good Live here on Entrepreneur's Facebook page. Thanks again for joining us today. We have an awesome two guests today, the founders of Bombas, the best socks that are out there for a whole number of reasons, not just because they're very comfortable and stylish, but we're going to get to that. Before we chat with them, we got this amazing video in last week from Valerie Williams from Tennessee. Valerie won our contest from about a week and a half ago, and she brought a giving key along with a copy of The Business of Good to the inauguration, and it was a really powerful clip she sent us. We wanted to play that for you as a way to start and kick off this week's episode.
Hey Facebook! I am so excited about today, not only because it's Friday and it's inauguration day, so I found a pretty flag to be waving in the background. I thought that was appropriate, but because I just received a gift in the mail, and it is called The Business of Good by Jason Haber, and he actually signed it for me. I'm just blown away by this gift and the fact that it comes with a giving key. And if you haven't heard of these, they are keys that you can make, and you can get any word that you'd like put on them. And this one that I was gifted happens to say fearless, and I am so just moved by this because I feel like it couldn't come at a better time in my life. I am declaring 2017 as the year that I will wake up every day and choose to be fearless, because it is a choice. We all have fears. The only two that we're born with.
All right, pretty awesome stuff. Thanks again, Valerie, for sharing that. Really inspirational. So today's guests here with me now, we have Dave Heath, Randy Goldberg from Bombas Socks. For you guys who aren't familiar with, well, let me do this. Can you guys tell us a little about the socks first? Because I was fascinated by this. Just by way of example, I was out last night at an event, and a guy I know, his name's, I call him Jim from Dorchester, because his name's Jim and he's from Dorchester, right?
Makes sense.
Makes sense. And very stylish guy. And I was telling him what we were doing today, and he goes, "Those are the only socks that I wear."
Amazing.
I go, "What do you mean?" And lo and behold, he had the socks on. He said they're the only socks that he wears. They're the most comfortable, they're the most stylish, and he liked what the company was all about.
Amazing.
And what I found so interesting about that and where I wanted to start was the "and" is just as important as the style.
Sure.
And that seems to be like sort of woven into the DNA of the company. Can you talk about the "and" why that's so important?
The "and" really isn't the "and." The "and" is the whole thing. It's why we started the company. So we found out that socks are the most requested clothing item in homeless shelters. And when we heard that, our first thought, well, why? We didn't know anything about this.
Right.
It hadn't, this isn't like a fact that you hear all the time. So we started to investigate why that was, and for a host of reasons, including the fact that most shelters won't accept used socks and you can't donate old product. There's a huge need. There's a lot of hygiene issues around feet, and if you're living on the street, a fresh pair of socks means a lot. So then we actually started to think about socks for the first time, and our own socks and what we didn't like about them, and we looked around at the market, and we saw that there was a hole in the marketplace, and we saw that athletic socks were the same as they've been for 50, 60 years. So we thought we could change that, make a really great sock, and if we made a really great sock, we could sell a ton of socks, and if we sold a ton of socks, we could donate a pair. So for every pair we sell, we donate a pair to somebody in need.
What I found also interesting is the sock that's on the market right now for the consumer is not the sock that the homeless community gets.
Yeah, interestingly enough, when we started the company, we donated the exact same sock. It was important to us that, we knew the feeling, that we personally felt as well as our customers felt to take put on a pair of our socks and how comfortable and life-changing it was. And so we wanted to give that same product back to the community. And one of the things that we do here as a company is everybody who, whenever you first start with us, you get 10 pairs of socks to hand out on the streets as you're coming to work, which in New York City, you can easily cross 10 people on your way to work. What we found is that people were constantly coming back with, this person wanted the black socks and not the gray socks. And the more we started to learn that, these people were actually making active choices in which products they were taking, we kind of asked ourselves, like, maybe the socks that we're creating for our customers are not the best socks for the homeless community. So we started working with our charity partners, and we did a ton of R&D specifically on our donation sock. So what that accumulated to is a sock that has reinforced seams for greater durability. We use darker colors to minimize visible wear so it doesn't show dirt as much. And then we also, most importantly, treat the cotton with an antimicrobial treatment, which helps prevent the growth of fungus and irritation on the
So
feet.
how long can you wear it before it needs to be washed?
So our donation sock you can wear
Right.
for a couple weeks
Wow.
without needing to wash it. Yeah.
Wow.
And the interesting thing is that on the marketplace, some other sock brands and people include antimicrobial treatments. It's really a wash that included in the sock that tends to wash out over time. So you wash it 5 or 10 times and that feature is gone. But because the homeless community is obviously not able to wash, use laundry as frequently as we are, it actually stays in the product a lot longer.
And so one of the things I also found interesting is, and by the way, if you guys have questions, fire them at us. We have Jeffrey here running the board, and he'll throw the questions at us if you have them. You sort of, a classic entrepreneurial approach. Here's a market, you identified a problem, and you identified as a solution. The problem being, luxury socks are really expensive,
Right.
and low-end socks kind of junky, right?
They're terrible.
They're terrible.
And socks have always been an afterthought for most people, and they were for us as well. And when we started to think about it and how much you interact with your socks and how important they are every day, we figured that a lot of improvements that we saw in the marketplace could be combined into one sock, and that we could make a real difference in the way that a sock felt and performed and looked, and it became something that we were obsessed with making a better product, and we feel like we've made the most comfortable socks in the world.
So like prior to 3 years ago when you started, were you like sock guys?
No.
I don't even know what that is.
Nobody grows up dreaming of being in the sock business.
Right.
I don't think one person ever has said, when I grow up I want to make socks. But
One person.
One
Kristen.
person.
She works here.
She really, that's like her thing. She always wanted.
She's our head of product.
That's amazing.
College.
Wow.
She's a sock wizard. But yeah, for us it was more of a marketplace thing. We wanted to start a business together. We were always thinking about ideas, and when this presented itself, we just it got hold of us. It's as simple as that. And we weren't Garmentos. We aren't from the apparel business. We didn't work in that ahead of time. We'd sort of been on the periphery of that, but really just started to think about the product.
Yeah, and I would say like every day surprises us, from the moment that we launched our Indiegogo campaign, being like, yeah, we'll kind of see what people think. Up until that time, we've been, testing and developing the product, and, we've been handing them out, to our friends and family, and oddly enough, we became the weird guys at the gym that would like go to strangers and be like, "Can you try my socks and see what you think?" And they'd like look at you strangely.
No one pushed you,
and then they'd come back the next day and they'd be like, "Where can I buy them? I really, really like them." And so we started to get some confidence. But again, it's like we're socks. It's not like trying not to take ourselves too seriously. But the day that we launched on Indiegogo, we had a goal of $15,000. We did $24,000 our first day, and we were like, "All right, maybe we really have something here."
Right.
And that momentum has not slowed down since.
And so walk me through the business. So where can you get the socks now? Are there any retail options, or is it all online?
99% of all of our sales is through Bombas.com. We have a couple key partnerships. We co-brand all the socks for Flywheel, and a couple other smaller partnerships. But we're almost 100% direct to consumer through our own website.
And any chance to expand that in the future, or is that something you're looking to do?
Sure. Like any business, we're open to opportunities, but we're really focused on our website, telling our story online, making it really easy for our customers to buy Bombas and then come back and buy them again, and having a dialogue with the people who really support the company.
And I'm sure you hear this a lot. The one-for-one model has its pros and its cons. The biggest example, of course, being Tom's shoes. There was a lot of criticism for their initial one-for-one model, mostly being if you're giving out a free product in a marketplace, you're killing the local marketplace, and that the free shoes is not exactly a problem in many parts of the developing world. But it's different with the homeless population, isn't it? You've got a very defined audience, and there's a real need. And I've spoken to people about this in the homeless advocacy community, socks is the number one.
It is a huge issue. For some of the reasons I mentioned earlier, it's a big issue. It's an issue in our communities. That was important for us to solve something in the U.S. in our community. Listen, we're huge supporters of Tom's. We love what they do,
Yeah.
and we think
They
that
paved the way for us.
They paved the way for us. They also, some of the things that they had trouble with early on, we were able to learn from when we were
Right.
building out that aspect of our business. So we really appreciate what they've done, and we sort of think that a lot more companies should act like this and think like this, and we're here to support them. We talked to a lot of young companies who are trying to figure this out. We didn't know how to donate a sock when we started. I mean, we knew how to hand somebody a sock, and we knew some shelters that we could start sending socks to, but we needed to build an infrastructure, and now we have over 500 donation partners in all 50 states.
And to Tom's credit, they listened to the criticism and they completely changed their model around. They were so early in the
Good.
one-for-one space.
Yeah.
And good for them for the changes that they've made, and it's made it better for everyone else. In
We do a lot of
entrepreneurship.
donations with Tom's here in the U.S. and we've gone out and seen some of the Indian reservations the Navajo reservations that they donate socks to here. Shoes to here, and we donate socks alongside them. We always say, like, if every company in the world donated product for every product that was sold, it would solve a huge gap in the marketplace for the people who are truly in need. So I think it's unfair to ever criticize anybody who's trying to do something positive.
No, absolutely. And how do you like? Let's talk about the charity piece here.
Sure.
So someone buys a sock, and so you allocate one to go to a member of the homeless population. How does that sock get there?
Yeah, it's interesting. Our first donation partner was an organization called Hannah Socks in Ohio, and Dave found Hannah Socks.
Literally just Googled. I was like donation sock charity, and they were the only one.
Wow.
They were the only one, and we didn't even have a business at the time, and so I like very nervously called up, being like, "I'm starting this company. This is going to sound really weird, but will you accept our donation socks when we accumulate them?" And they were kind of like, "Yeah, why wouldn't we?"
And it built from there. I mean, they were the first ones. They taught us a lot about the issues around, foot hygiene and donations and shelters and the system and the way that it works. And they're still one of our donation partners. And then we've continued to grow. And we have big donation partners like the VA, Special Olympics, the Bowery Mission here in New York, and then shelters across the country.
So almost 600 shelters and organizations across the U.S., across all 50 states.
And they can come to our website and apply to be one of our donation partners, and pretty much everybody's accepted.
Yeah.
And then we send out socks based on how quickly we can produce them and allocate them
And sell them.
and sell them. Yeah.
It's so important too. I mean, we're in a city here. We're in New York City today, where there's about 60,000 homeless people, which would be 20% of the population of Orlando, for example. I mean, enormous problem.
Enormous.
And it's unfortunately not getting any better right
Getting
now.
worse.
It's been getting worse. And so when we talk about the solution, so aside from the obvious, what does giving a sock to someone in the homeless community, what does that do for them?
I mean, we never kid ourselves to say that, donating a pair of socks is going to change a person's life and help them get off the streets. Right. We did identify this need and we wanted to kind of directly solve it. But in addition to, donating a pair of socks or a pair sold, it's using platforms like this and our own, customer base that we also believe that we're spreading compassion and awareness among the overall issue, so that like Tom's inspired us, hopefully one of our customers or somebody out there in the universe picks up on something that we're doing and says, what, I want to get more involved, and maybe that's just donating an hour of their time to go to the local soup kitchen every week and help out, or starting a local charity drive to either accumulate socks or coats or food. We think that it goes beyond just giving the product. Right? We're trying to spread awareness and compassion.
In addition, later on this year, we're working on a way for our supporters to get involved in our charitable efforts. So as a company, we go out and we donate our time, and we try and learn from the people who are really closest to the issue around homelessness, and we're there working with them, and it's really impactful for us as a business and as people to be doing this here in New York, and when we travel as a company. And we're working a way for our supporters and our customers to get involved later this year, along with some other efforts around spreading awareness for the homeless community.
The other thing with social entrepreneurship, it tends to exist in a space where government either can't go or won't go,
Right.
and the private sector hasn't, or nonprofits haven't succeeded in doing. and you know, giving out socks can be an expensive proposition.
Absolutely.
It's a perfect space for a social entrepreneur, right? Because you know, people buy them very regularly, and people will spend real money on even lousy socks. People will spend real money on. So you give them an alternative, right? And then at the same time, you're able to then provide something for someone who's homeless that the government can't give them.
Sure.
And that seems to be the need that it's filling, which is why it's such a great classic example of social entrepreneurship.
It's a real need. You're right. It's a need that we can fill that really not many other people could. The government can't really do it. It wouldn't be right.
Right.
And it's not something extraneous.
Well, they could. They actually could, but
they need to focus on the kind of the bigger, more endemic issues.
We can do it more efficiently.
Right.
You know.
Well, that's the point. You can do it more efficiently.
Right?
You know, the government should focus on things like housing, if there medications, mental health, right? Like those are issues where the government tries, but they can't do everything, and they're not going to do it alone. And so that's where social entrepreneurs come in.
There's all kinds of interesting people doing things around homelessness as well. We talked to a lot of them. We share office space with an organization that uses the discipline of running to help people exit homelessness, right? So they're using that idea of trying to get people to run a marathon and use that discipline to change their lives, and it's really impactful, and we sit in the same space with them, so we learn from them as well. There's a lot of different ways to approach an issue. If you see something and you want to get involved, there's ways to do it, and Bombas is just one way for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you pull up one of the socks for a sec? I just wanted to show people, if you could just take us through some of the design elements that make it very different. There's so much to go over, but just to give us an outline of what makes a Bombas sock so different.
Yeah.
And why is, first of all, the other question is, because it's a how big the sock market is. It's
couple billion
$2 why has no one thought of this?
So I think what
it seems obvious now that you've started.
What's interesting about it
Tough
is
question to answer.
but I think the answer is that we came at this product from a consumer's mindset, right? We didn't come out of manufacturing, we didn't come out of apparel or fashion. We were media guys, and we were just consumers of bad product. And so when we kind of identified this need, we were asking ourselves, we're like, okay, well, what's the white space that we want to play in the marketplace? We kind of looked down and we're like, our socks are pretty crappy, and like some of the obvious issues that I was like, why is there like an annoying seam across the front of the toe?
Why is that,
right?
by the way?
Because it's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper to make. So we worked closely with our factory partners for almost 2 years on developing a product, and we got a lot of pushback from our factory partners being like other companies don't do this. Why would you want to do it? It's cheaper to do it this way.
Sure.
Cheaper to do it this way. And I was like, yeah, but it's better to do it this way, and we'll figure out the price stuff later. But I think a lot of people think price first, and then they back into it, right?
Yeah.
They look at, okay, what can we price this out of the marketplace, and how will what can we produce it for based on
and
that?
price was important for us. Right?
Yeah.
We didn't want this to be a $50 sock, which exists, or a $30 sock even. But we wanted the quality to be that high. But we wanted this to be within range that was sort of at the right market rate. People are willing to pay for a sock like this and deliver $25, $30 value in a $12 pair of socks.
So it was hard to get to manufacture.
Yeah. I mean, it required really the effort of our manufacturing partners to buy into this vision, and luckily, my godfather, by complete stroke of luck, was in the hosiery business for 40 years. He used to be the president and CEO of Gold Toe in the early 90s, unbeknownst to me.
Maybe this was,
maybe there was,
maybe you are a sock guy.
No. So some of the other features, so like I mentioned, we have our seamless toe across the front, which gets rid of that annoying seam.
Right.
We developed our own proprietary arch support system in the middle of the foot, which helps keep the sock around the middle of your foot so it doesn't slide around. We developed a comfort footbed, so you have a little bit of cushion, but it's not too thick that it won't fit in your shoe. On our calf socks, one of the most important things that used to drive me bananas was I'd wear a pair of calf socks 2 or 3 times, and then every time they'd constantly be falling down throughout the day. So we developed what we call stay-up technology, so it prevents the sock from ever slipping down no matter how many times you wash or wear it.
But it's not too tight.
Right.
That's the trick, it's finding that sweet spot.
Right.
I mean, we tested 138 tension levels before we landed on where we landed for this style of our sock.
On our ankle socks, we also have a blister tab, which prevents the sock from slipping into the shoe and chafing across the back of your foot. And then I think also most importantly, we use a really, really high quality grade cotton that most people would price themselves out of using because it's so expensive, which stays warm in the winter, cool in the summer, wicks moisture really well. There's absolutely no odor, no matter how many. I ran the marathon in our socks and the New York City Marathon, and came out afterwards and they didn't smell at all, which my fiance.
But did you test that yourself, or did you have
I
someone else
appreciated
here?
it. No, I tested it. Trust me, I get close to the product.
Do you think you're a threat to the establishment in the sock industry? Is that do you get any blowback from them?
We don't. You know,
we're really not thinking about any sort of Who are you talking about when you say the establishment?
I don't even
know.
know.
Nike, Hanes. I mean, for us, we're really focused on our product.
Yeah.
Making the best version of this, growing the brand, growing awareness for our company, selling a lot of our socks, and we're not worried about what they're doing. I mean, we keep our eye on the industry.
Sure.
And there's some interesting companies who have done great things with socks that we think are really cool, but it's hard to look at it and say those are our competitors because they sell socks. You know, I think in today's world, when you're a business and you're online and you're direct to consumer, you're competing with other, for your customer, who else are they paying attention to? It's not about the other sock company, it's
mind share.
I think that's a great lesson for entrepreneurs who are watching this right now and they're thinking about starting a business or have a business, and that's exactly how you have to approach consumers in today.
Yeah, meet people where they are, right? Where are they paying attention? Who do they care about? Are you in league with the businesses that they want to associate themselves with, and they're comfortable doing that? In today's world, that's a tricky thing to sort of balance.
I also think one of the other lessons that we love sharing too is we get from our investors to interviews, we get asked all the time, like, who are your competitors? And we take Jeff Bezos mentality, which is Jeff Bezos doesn't believe he has any competition or he doesn't look at outside competition. And the more that you start to look at the competition, what you would call competition, the more you start to be reactive to what they're doing, rather than just putting the blinders on and being focused on what you're doing. You want to do like your thing and not try to just constantly emulate things or block things or create things because some other people are doing it. That's when you lose your way and you don't stay focused on what your true North Star is.
Our friends at Harry's, right? They have Big Razor out there, who's their competition, and it's really obvious that they're trying to take a bite of. It's not the same with this. There isn't Big Sock.
Right.
Because for the most part, it's been an otherwise ignored category.
Right. Well, there's no.
It's an afterthought.
Right. Like athletes don't get sock endorsement deals, right? They get razor deals,
or it comes along with their shoe
deal.
Right. They have to it'll come
thrown in.
But you never hear LeBron has a sock coming out.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Right.
Not yet.
I mean, some people do. Some companies out there are actually working on socks with celebrities, and it's interesting. They're doing good designs, and they're really focused on the design. For us, it's the combination of the design, the product, really mostly comfort. You put these socks on, or our dress socks, which are amazing, or our no-show socks, which have changed the way you wear a no-show. All of this stuff is really focused on comfort, and the style is there, and they look interesting, and it's a great story. So people feel really good about being behind us, and we feel really good about marketing this because the product is great, and it always comes back to that. This is the best product. And if you have the best product, it doesn't matter what you say about it, because you're always telling the truth. It always feels authentic.
Now, one thing that Jeff Bezos doesn't have that you guys have here at this company, tattoos.
Yeah,
so I know everyone knows about it. Does he have? Well, does anyone know that does Jeff Bezos have tattoos? He doesn't look like a tattoo guy to me.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. Well, let's see. Someone can fact check us on that. But can you tell us and show us the tattoos and just sort of?
There's one tattoo. Actually, we're talking about not multiple tattoos.
Right.
So when we were first starting in Indiegogo, we put Dave made a promise, and he said, if we get to 1 million pairs donated, I'm gonna get a tattoo of our logo to celebrate. And I said, okay, great deal. And if you do that, I'll film it. I'll get we'll film you getting the tattoo. I'm not gonna get one, but good for you. I love this idea. We actually put it in the FAQ page of our Indiegogo campaign, and we thought this would take 10 years to get to 1 million pairs donated. Flash forward 2.5 years, and we were like, well, this is happening now. And he said, all right, let's do it.
Yeah. So,
look at this.
So I tattooed our B logo and then our tagline, which is "Be Better," on the inside of my arm.
Yeah, there's a video about this that you can find on Facebook or on our
Bombas.com/million.
Yep. But we filmed the process of Dave getting the tattoo. We told the story of our 1 million pair donated, and it was a great moment for the company. And we've actually just hit our 2 millionth pair.
Wow.
Yeah. Inside of 6 months
6
after
months
that.
later.
That's
So,
amazing.
yeah.
Things are
And
going.
that's quite the rate of growth.
Yeah, it's been
it's
great.
tremendous.
Well, this is awesome. Thanks for having us here today. I have a sock. We had a request on Twitter earlier for the purple sock to be given out. So
Holding it upside down.
I'm holding. Oh,
There you go.
the man knows the socks. So we're going to give this out to the first person who's interested in it. Also get a signed copy of the Business of Good. So
Great book.
Just let us know. Thank you. And and so listen, thanks for coming on today. It's really inspirational stuff. There's a lot of classic entrepreneurism, and there's also the classic social entrepreneurism built into your company. And it's great to see a disruptor come along and completely shake up an industry that has just been the same since 100 years. I mean, it's been the same.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Cool. Thanks again for watching, everyone. We'll see you again soon.